Sid and Friends in the morning.
77 WABC.
Now we're going to talk moolah shmoolah. Scatto. That's what we say here in New York. There are other terms for it. Making that money, that mad money.
Yeah, but Steve Moore's from Chicago. What does he know about Shlomo?
He knows. Maxwell Street. That's what they call it. Moolah shmoolah on Maxwell Street.
Michigan Avenue.
Well, he's one of the country's leading economists, has a show on WABC right after Larry Kudlow. Larry Kudlow on Saturdays is 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock on WABCRadio.com and worldwide. And Steve Moore is from 1 to 3. So we have 5 hours of economy.
Whoa.
Well, Steve, Happy New Year. Give us, who do you bet on when it's Powell against Trump?
Well, good morning, guys, and great pleasure to be with you. Happy New Year to everybody. By the way, I just love doing that show on Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3. We have such a great, I always say, John, WABC has the smartest listening audience of any radio show in America, and I love hearing from the audience about how they feel about how things are going. And look, we're going to see the biggest boom in starting on January 21st. January 21 is when he enters the Oval Office. First thing he's going to do, John, is have a stack 1 inch thick of executive orders, building pipelines, reversing all of the crazy executive orders that Biden has come into, has put into place. I think you're going to see just a whole change in attitude among Americans. And by the way, you see it already, don't you? Look at the confidence numbers, the optimism numbers. Even, John, my Democratic friends are saying, hey, I kind of like the things Trump is talking about.
Well, Trump is going to save America and save the free world, and we said that. And I think the Saudis, I think the OPEC nations have more confidence in what that there's going to be peace under Trump. And when my Democratic friends said to me, "Oh, Trump, war," I said, from 2017 to 2021, we had 0 wars.
I know.
In the last 2 years, we had almost a world war. I said to them, how many countries have to be involved in conflict before you call it a world war?
Yeah. You're right. And the key to a successful presidency is the 2 Ps. And you guys know what those 2 Ps are. Peace and prosperity. And Reagan brought this country peace and prosperity, and so did Donald Trump in his first term. Remember, we didn't have any wars when Trump was president. In fact, he brought peace to the world. And I think, John, within, I don't know, what do you think? Give him 6. I think within 6 months, we're going to have an armistice in Russia and Ukraine. I think you're going to have the terrorists release those hostages within the next, I think, maybe very, very soon. Just remember what happened when Reagan came in?
Yes.
Remember what happened the day he was inaugurated?
Yep.
You remember what happened?
2 days before,
Yep.
Jimmy Carter was still president, they would not release him to Jimmy Carter, and they released him to Ronald Reagan because they know Ronald Reagan was not going to take any nonsense.
Exactly.
The same thing. History repeats itself. They know, the Iranians know that Donald Trump is not going to take any nonsense. And if they don't do it, guess who's going to attack? My prediction, the Israelis will attack and wipe out their nuclear facilities.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And, you need a no-nonsense world leader, and Trump is, you have to be not just love, but fear. And I think the rest of these terrorist groups and Putin are very afraid of what Trump will do. And look, here's what Trump's going to do in Ukraine. He's going to go to the Ukrainians and say, look, if you don't start negotiating a settlement here, we're not giving you $100 billion. And then he's going to go to Putin and say, unless you don't sit down at the bargaining table and stop this killing, we're going to drive the price of oil down to, less than $2 a gallon at the pump. And that's going to destroy the Russian economy.
Well, my prediction on oil, Steve, is $55 a barrel. That's where it's going to settle at, and you're going to have $2 a gallon gasoline again.
Yep.
And prices of food will go down.
Yes.
So prices of food go down.
Yes.
Gasoline goes down, diesel fuel goes down,
Yes.
and food prices go down. Then Powell has to reduce the interest rates and bring the real estate industry of America back again.
Couldn't agree more. And I think all those things are going to happen, John. I think you're exactly right that we keep producing. If we become the number one producer again in oil and gas, we can dominate, and we can take away money from the countries like Iran and the Taliban and other countries that are all funded with these petrodollars. So it's a win-win for peace and prosperity. And imagine what our industry can do if we're operating with very low energy costs. I mean, it just means we're going to continue to dominate. So I'm very excited about this. And then, of course, our top priority, John, is going to be to get that tax cut done and make sure that taxes don't go up, because I want to make sure your audience understands that if Congress does nothing, then taxes are going to go up for everyone because the Trump tax cuts would expire. We cannot allow that to happen.
Now, question, Steve Moore, with a booming economy, expansion, that means a lot of jobs at the high level. That's being argued, H-1, B-1 visa. But let's talk about the low level. There are a lot of illegal aliens who are working now in this country. If all of a sudden they leave because they fear that at any moment they might get deported, or they do get deported, how do we fill that void?
Well, that is a really tough question you just asked me. I've been thinking a lot about that. Look, I think Trump has the right strategy. We have to get rid of the illegal immigrants who came into this country and are potential have committed crimes or are threats to the American people, whether they're terrorists or drunk runners. In other words, start with the worst first. If you've got a Mexican who came in over the border and they're working in the fields in San Diego, come on, why don't we, give them a fine or something like that? As long as they're working and contributing to the economy, I don't think that they should be necessarily deported. But the people who are the troublemakers,
get them out. Get the troublemakers. Get the murderers out of here. Yeah. Get the drug dealers out of here, and get the killers out of here.
Exactly, because that's what makes it. Now, maybe you have to. I don't know what you do about the people who are in the country working and just trying to make a better life for themselves. Maybe you provide them with a fine. Maybe you have to send them back and say, hey, you have to, go back and then get a green card and reapply for that job. I'm not sure the best way to do it, but let's make sure that we're not totally disrupting the economy here. You're not going to deport, 3 million people. Yeah. It just isn't going to happen.
The other thing we're going to take a break. The other thing we have to do, Steve, is to make sure that we get the voting taken care of. One American, one vote.
Believe it.
One American, one vote. But Steve Moore, we'll talk to you again later on. Maybe we'll talk to you at 5 o'clock today. And God bless you. God bless America.
Thank you.
Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, he's been away for, sounds like a month or so.
A month at least.
Sid Rosenberg. He's been down, though, at Mar-a-Lago. He was at Mar-a-Lago.
Hobnobbing with the president.
And all the MAGA people.
And Stallone.
That's right. Stallone. Who's roided up more, Stallone or Sid Rosenberg? On this, your place to be, WABC. It's Katz, Curtis, and Bert Flickinger as we take you live and locally up to the 10 o'clock hour. It doesn't get any better than this.